According to Arthur Hogue, historian, the Charter requires the King to honour the obligations and principally land law consisting of the rules, customs and practices of those holding free tenures in a feudal society. He continues in his own words, "Thus the common law of the 12th and 13th century is in as large part the law of the land and tenures, the law of property rights and services, together with rules of procedure for the administration of justice." A glance at the chapters of Magna Carta or at any collection of common law writs will reveal the dominant concern with rights in land, the possession or the cession of land, the services owed for the tenure of land, the inheritance of land, the leasing of land, the wardship of land, the profits from land, the burdens on land, and the wrongs to land. I think that largely summarises how Magna Carta impacted on landed property rights. The ability of the king to simply take whatever they wanted or hand out property to the favoured few or even to formulate legislation for their own benefit had now been limited under Chapter 39. I can't stress the importance of this limitation. The principles of limiting the power of the king and government forms a central consideration in the ensuing compulsory takings and compulsory acquisition clauses in national constitutions around the world from this point onwards until today. It is a concept found in the Australian, US, Korean, Japanese, UK constitutions, to name but a few. However, we can also begin to appreciate the thinking behind land, and then incorporating local rules, customs and practices, if appropriate, into the English practice of colonial law. The Magna Carta had a profound impact, not only in Britain, but throughout Europe and much of the world. It is regarded by some as being one of the very first constitutions, if not the first constitution. It is a document which still gets referred to in courts occasionally today, including here in Australia. However, similarly forms the foundation of the test for property rights in many constitutions of countries around the world in the form of property takings clauses in relation to those compulsory acquisitions. I hope you've been entertained a little bit by this introduction to property rights as well as the Magna Carta. It is a story, an intriguing story of murder and power games and so on. In terms of references, I've largely used references from this book, Property Rights, from Magna Carta to the 14th Amendment. I've used parts of that book. I've also used a bit of Harold Demescent's work, that one there, Towards a Theory of Property Rights, readily available on the internet for free. I had to buy this property rights book, and I don't believe that it's in the library. Unfortunately, I can't put excerpts of it up due to copyright, but that's not necessary for you to buy that book anyway. You can if you'd like. I also had a look at this article, Neolithic Agricultural Revolution and the Origins of Private Property, by Bowles and Choi. And again, that's available for free on the internet, and I'll give you reference to that at in the links section at the end of this video. And finally, I've had a look at this one here, which is a brief history of land, which is really quite a good handout, which summarizes quite a lot of what was actually going on in the development of land as a concept. Have fun going and discovering more about property rights from this brief introduction that I've given you.